Join me as we continue to play Soloquest within the Runequest starter set. There will be spoilers, of course, because it's story driven. Now let's get going. Welcome back to the channel. I am Sacred, and this is the Sacred Art of Gaming, where we enjoy talking about tabletop gaming, and sometimes we continue Runequest Soloquest. Where I'm at mentally right now, I just want to say that reading the rules, I was very intimidated. This has not really been intimidating yet. This has actually kind of been a delight. It's been a lot of reading, which I don't know if that is necessarily the most entertaining, but I'm actually into it. I'm really into the story that is taking place here, which is cool. So yeah, let's, if you recall, we drew back our bow after using our loyalty to, what was it, Orlanth? Or Sartar. We used our passion to inspire our ability to draw the bow back and fire it, and it didn't work. It didn't work because there was a lot of the distance. It was pretty far. So we failed. We're going to 58. Behind the tide of lunar infantry, you see a black cloud of mundane and magic missiles come sailing through the air. Most of the missiles fall short of the Sartarite lines, and the wall of shields absorbs the rest. You have another chance to attack. This time, the lunar hoplites are within your bow's effective range. That is what we'd like to hear. So this should be a lot easier, hopefully. We still have the 20%, which I believe puts us at 65. Because our bow, our composite bow is 45. We have the plus 20 from our inspiration roll earlier. That still applies. This is a 0. So that is a 50, right on the money. So we succeeded, hell yeah. So if you succeeded, determine the hit location by rolling, ooh, it's my first time using this for Runequest. Let's see what we hit. I mean, it says to roll a d20, but I assume this is the same thing. So we're hitting something in the left arm. So if you see rolled the hit location by rolling 1d20 and referring to the adventurer sheet, roll Vasana's damage. Okay, we don't need the adventurer sheet because we have this, so we know we're hitting someone in the left arm. It was a 50, so that shouldn't be a special success. So 1d8 plus 1 damage to someone's left arm. 7, so that's 8 damage, that's pretty solid. If the target's shield is protecting the hit location, either the left arm, you son of a bitch, or abdomen, the damage is reduced by 10. Next, the damage is reduced by 5 or 6 for the chest. So if you overwhelm their armor and deal damage, increase the BRT by plus 5. If you reduce the hit points in the affected location to, okay. If you reduce, yep, we didn't do any of that. If you succeed the composite skill roll, you may check the box next to it. Thank you. This does not apply if the skill is already checked. So I was looking over here, so it must be over here somewhere too. Composite bow, under manipulation. This can't be all of the skills, I assume. This must just be specific to my character. But yeah, we'll see. So some good and some bad came from that. So go to 59. If you fail or if you succeed, you go to 59. Before the lunar archers can return fire, a voice howls, "Shields, now!" You stow your bow and pull up your medium shield. The hoplites are close, and as the lunar missiles take flight once more, you retreat. It's time to mount your bison and charge. Arrows fall around you and the other riders as you retreat. Several of your companions are struck. They stagger forward or collapse entirely. Vasana cannot parry a ranged attack using her shield, but wielding it protects 2 locations, her left shield arm and another location of your choosing. Choose one other location to protect. It can be her right or left leg, abdomen, chest, right arm, or her head. I mean, I feel like we would probably, it would be your head or your chest. Your chest is the bigger target. I think we're gonna protect the chest. But she has armor on her chest. So I think she would protect her head, I think is what I would do in that situation, and I think she would do the same. Alright, so go to 60. You dart this way and that, dodging between fallen combatants. Moments before you disappear between the rows of tents, the final volley finds you. 3 arrows fly towards you, each with a 50% chance to hit. Roll 3 times to determine how many arrows hit. Determine the hit location for each attack by rolling on that d20 and referring to the adventurer's sheet. Okay, so we're rolling 3 times for 50%. That's a no. That's a no. That's a very high roll. Wow. 3 no's. I mean, finally we got lucky. These feels like these want to roll high, which in this case was helpful. So each roll of 50% or lower succeeds, so none of them did. If Vasana's shield was protecting the... Yep, didn't matter. Shields have incredible defensive ability, thanks. They weaken over time, becoming less and less effective. Any damage is then reduced by her armor, which varies between locations. Then applied to her hit points. Refer to her adventure sheet to see her armor and her hit points. We're not hit, but we'll take a look at them. So yeah, this is cool. This kind of reminds me of like Fallout, where each section has HP and armor. If they're reduced to 0, she's killed. If her total hit points are reduced to 1 or 2. If any of her hit locations have their hit points reduced to 0, otherwise she's weathered the assault, go to 66. So yeah, we have weathered the assault. We continue. You weave between the tents towards Molin's pen. You pass by clusters of Shalana Oroi initiates, lingering at the edges of the battlefield. They are using their potent healing magic to mend injuries. Other riders race around you, hoisting themselves into saddles and readying lances. Molin huffs as you approach. You raise one of your feet into the stirrups, then swing yourself into the saddle. A sharp cry launches him into action. You gallop away, bound for the front lines. This stage of the battle is critical. If the lunar hoplites reach the Sardarite ranks, it could spell defeat. But if they're caught by a cavalry charge in deep water, then that could swing the day in your favor. Through the remnants of the banished fog, you can see the shapes and patterns of battle on the northern bank of the island. More disturbingly, you can hear it all. Furious roars, the crackling of magic, and the howls of the wounded and dying. You ride hard towards the battlefield and your enemy. Enough time has now passed for any inspiration or despair Vasana gained during the skirmish to end. So we don't have our 20% anymore. A passing Shalana Oroi cultist tends to her as she mounts her bison. She may fully heal her. Yeah, we're good, baby. You spur Molin forward, heading west toward the river. When you reach the water, he charges on, completely unconcerned by the higher water. Splashing through the reeds, you can see the lunar infantry pushing closer and closer to your archers. A wave of fear rushes through the Sartarite ranks, who fire faster and faster, desperate to push the enemy back. But the arrows just clatter harmlessly against the lunar shields. You wheel Molin around and join up with the assembling riders. The Lunar Empire marches forward, seemingly unstoppable. Hot anger flushes your face red and you grit your teeth. It takes every bit of restraint you have to wait for the horn and not just blindly charge. If you wish, Vasana may draw inspiration from her hate for the Lunar Empire, passion to augment one of her skills for the charge, yes. Choose a single skill to augment. The inspiration will last for the full scene, so while you may choose any skill, her ride, bison, lance, dodge, or medium shield skills will be the most useful. Next, make a hate Lunar Empire roll. So ride, lance, dodge, or medium shield. Medium shield is a 55. Ride bison is 70. 55 on the... Did I say shield already? Lance. Where's lance? So I see Lance over here is a 70, medium shield is 55. Riding is pretty high, and then dodge. Dodge is 22. I think dodge is what we want to try and augment because we have a pretty good, want to have a decent chance of using it. And 22 is pretty low. So yeah, we're going to use our hate of the Lunar Empire. And thematically what I'm thinking here is that she not only wants to fight against them, she wants to be like a goddess on the battlefield, almost like Achilles in Troy, where like sometimes he's just like effortlessly fighting them. She wants that. She wants, yeah, to be able to just dodge and continue to slicing people down. So yeah, we will go ahead and use hate from the Lunar Empire. 77. And hers, I believe, was a 90. Quite high. Yeah. Another check. All these checks are making me feel good. Successful, go to 68. Howls of anger fill your head. The cries of 1,000 murdered Sartorites. Your own father, fed to the crimson bat, joins their haunting screams of anguish. Without realizing, you let out a peal of fury and squeal and squeeze tightly on Molin's reins. Why is the G not there? That's so weird. Your knuckles white. You will make them pay for their transgressions. Your hatred gives you strength. If you roll equal to under a 90, you achieved a normal success. So plus 20% dodge. Hopefully that was the right choice. I kind of went, instead of stacking the deck, I tried to be a little bit more varied. Okay, yep, this is just all of the different percentages that we can have. We checked it. The scenario will alert you when it fades. We can go to 71. The infantry marches closer. You are moments away from battle. You measure your breaths as you wait, feeling the strength of the runes all around you. I love the build up to this battle. This is actually really cool. You have access to 2 types of magic, spirit and rune. When you use spirit magic, you communicate with the spirits that exist throughout the world. To use rune magic, you channel the power of the gods and reconstruct their heroic deeds. Every Gloranthan has access to spirit magic. It's a part of life. You have learned your spells from your parents, your tribe shaman, and your ancestors. Rune magic was taught to you as an initiate in the cult of Orlanth Adventurous. It tends to be more powerful than spirit magic, but has a higher cost. Where spirit magic consumes magic points to cast, rune magic uses rune points. Not only do you have fewer rune points, 3 rune points compared to 24 total magic points, but they cannot be recovered without committed sacrifice and prayer. If you want to cast the spirit magic spell mobility or the shield rune spell, go to 72. Otherwise, I mean, we're going to cast a spell, baby. We're going to go to 72. Mullen shifts beneath you, eager to charge forward, but you ease him with a hand and focus on your spells. The battle is raging around Vasana, and her time is limited. If you wish, you may attempt to cast the spell twice. After that, you must continue. Vasana's mobility spell doubles the speed of a target and reduces the strike rank by 1 for 2 minutes. Vasana may cast the spell on herself, but since she's riding her mount, Mullen is also a viable target. Given that Mullen may be slowed by the water of the ford, this seems a good idea. Choose the target, then make a power. First multiply Vasana's POW by 5, then roll equal to or under it. If you succeed, the spell is cast. Reduce her magic points accordingly. Record your temporary modifiers. If you fail, the spell is not cast, and time passes. If you fumble, the spell is not cast, and the time is wasted. Vasana's shield rune spell will give her or Mullen 2 points of magical armor and counter magic for 15 minutes, lasting the duration of the charge, for 1 rune point. If you wish, you may increase the magical armor and counter magic by 2 points each per additional rune point spent. You may also use Vasana's extension spell to increase the duration for 1 hour, which full battles rarely exceed. This costs an additional rune point and requires its own roll. Once you have decided, make an air rune roll for the first spell. If you succeed, the spell is cast. Reduce Vasana's rune points accordingly. If you critically succeed, the spell is cast without... I believe this said you may attempt to cast a spell twice. The mobility... Oh man, do we want to... I feel like the rune magic stuff I think is more powerful, and I think I want to do that because this is like pre-battle. It says we only have 3, but 4 is circled. Is this saying that I have 1, 2, 3, and this is the cutoff? I don't know. But where I think I'm leaning towards the extension spell to increase the duration for 1 hour. So I think this is what I want to do. Once you have decided, make an air rune roll for the first spell. If you succeed, the spell is cast. I think that's what I need to do. So this is asking if I successfully cast mobility. I think, yeah, I want to stick to what I don't want to be swayed by this, despite how that made me feel. So we'll do the air rune roll, which is this, a 90. Oh, that's real good. 82. Whew, good thing we went with something that we're really good at. If you succeed, the spell is cast. So we're casting shield and... Oh, this is common rune magic. Known by their cult, any rune of the cult providing the spell may be used to cast common. Following is the complete list of common rune spells. Great, but what do I roll? Did that encompass all of that? You may also use extension spell to increase the duration for 1 hour, which... Okay. This costs an additional... Yeah, so we'll use the additional rune point. Just to stay consistent, I'll continue with what I did here with the magic points. If I find out later how that's supposed to work, I'll just move it over to the left. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We did not cast mobility, so we are going to 73. Suddenly the horn sounds behind you. Its deep tone announces the cavalry charge. Mullen rears in response, recognizing the sound. You shift yourself reactively, adjusting to his movements, and soon you are charging forward with the cavalry, bound for the exposed lunar flank. Make a ride bison roll. I assume because I succeeded over here that I checked this, because there's a box for air, even though it didn't explicitly state it, but we'll do it. Make a ride bison roll. If you succeed, go to 75. Ride bison. 70. Let's go, baby. 32. Hell yeah. Things are turning around. So we succeed, we go to 75. Mullen surges towards the enemy line, outpacing the other riders. The lunar infantry spot the incoming charge and begin to adjust their positioning. But they're too slow. From the island's eastern shore, you hear war cries as an infantry counterattack led by Kalir slams into the other side of the now trapped and panicked Lunars. You may add a check mark to the small box next to Vasana's Ride Bison skill. Go to 77. Mullen crashes into the scrambling lunar infantry with devastating force. Your lance plunges towards them. Make a lance roll. The target opposes Vasana's attack by parrying with a large shield. Okay, so we are going to do a lance roll, which is over here, 70. Okay, so lance is 70. 92. That is a fail. Target opposes Vasana's attack by parrying with a large shield. Compare the two levels of success and refer to the rolls, or the chart here. Attack and parry, I mean, a failed attack? Yeah, I mean, it might matter. We'll see. 55, 37, so they succeeded. So my failed attack versus a normal parry. Attacker parried or deflected. Defender rolls parrying weapons normal damage. Attacking weapons HP reduced by 1 HP if damage over its current HP. I don't see HP on the weapon here, but I don't think 1 HP would be enough for a lance. I see we have SR and we have points, so it's either 5 or 10. Oh, you know what? I bet this is strength rating. Strength rating, and then I'm not sure what the points are offhand. But yeah, so I'm assuming that we'll just put a note here, -1 lance, probably to SR. This little reference guides, I think, is going to be a lifesaver for playing this game that came with the starter set. Between that and the strike ranks little sheet that we have. So her lance takes damage. Yep, we did all of this. The large shield. Oh my goodness. To determine how much the large shield does, the defender rolls a higher success. Vasana's attack is deflected, dealing no damage. Additionally, her lance takes damage. Refer to the results, which we did, but this is also saying like it's rolling for damage. Attacking weapons HP reduced by 1 HP if damage over its current HP. So it says defender rolls parrying weapons normal damage. Okay, so I think we need to do that. The large shield does 1d6 plus 1d4 points. A d6 and a d4. Haha, 3. Adjust her lance's hit points. If it's reduced to 0, it is damaged and useless. Otherwise, it is still functional. All right, so that says -3 to me, I suppose. Okay, so this is just more stuff that I didn't get. If you overwhelm their armor and do damage, yep, none of that helps me. If you reduce their hit points, nope, nope, nope. If you succeed the lance roll, you may check the box next to it. Go to 78. You smash through the infantry. Mullen pushes through the seething mass of soldiers. Most are staggered before you. One particularly vicious lunar manages to strike up at you with his curved copis blade. Copi. It's a word I haven't seen said in quite some time. I'm not sure if that's a sound or not. So the attacker strikes at Vasana with that weapon, the copis. It's a 60% roll. Make a medium shield or lance roll depending on what she's parrying with. Okay, so we'll see it's 60%, 97. It failed. But I suppose I still roll. We'll say using a sword. Yeah, we'll say the shield. Yeah, we'll say the shield. 54. That might be just under. Yeah, man, her medium shield is a 55. Just made it. So I succeeded, he did not. So it's the inverse of what happened before. And the medium shield is 2d4s. 4. 8. Oh my god. Much better rolls for me. Okay, so depending on what, compare the two levels of success, which we did. As long as you succeed with Vasana's parry, she can reduce the damage by her yep, but we didn't get hit. If you rolled a better success than the opponent, she may completely deflect the attack, take no damage, and we did not fumble. The attacker rolled, okay, yep. So if we succeeded with Vasana's shield parry, any excess damage is dealt to her shield, then we didn't take any damage. So I succeeded, he failed. I'm really just doing the inverse of what I just did. I rolled a better success, so we'll just focus on this. She may completely deflect the attack, taking no damage. If you fumble her parry, the attacker will hit her normal damage, even if they miss. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind that I potentially did 8 damage to his sword. It doesn't sound like they really care about that. And we did succeed. So we get to mark that. Medium shield. Okay, Vostar's adventurer sheet to represent a typical lunar infantry soldier's armor and hit points. If Asana's legs are at nope. Okay, so she's securely saddled. If either, nope. Mullen's 4 quarters are reduced. Why would Mullen's 4 quarters be reduced to 0? If Asana has cast the mobility spell, it fades. Otherwise, go to 79. Okay, I think I did that right. Hopefully. Go to 79. Out of range from attacks, Mullen turns and circles the massed infantry. You take stock of the situation. Some of the cavalry are still stuck in the lunar swarm, struggling to free themselves and mount another charge, but the majority have regrouped in the west and are preparing for another assault. Several riders have dropped their lances and tugged out bows. They strafe the lunar archers on the shore, firing towards them, then riding hard out of range. A horn sounds from the eastern charge. Kalir's war horn. She needs aid. So we could try to contribute to the battle here or rush for Kalir. Once you have attempted 2 of the options below, go to 92. What do the numbers go up to in here? Oh, they go up quite high. They go up quite high. So we can try to contribute to the battle here or rush for Kalir. So charge the infantry, strafe the archers, heal yourself with magic, or seek out Kalir. So we have to do at least 2 of these. So it makes sense to me that I would charge again and then seek out Kalir. So we will charge the infantry, which go to 77, crashes into the scrambling lunar infantry with devastating force. Your lunge plunges towards them. So we're kind of redoing what we did before. So we should know what to do here. We're making a lance roll. 61. Our lance is hopefully higher than that. 70. Hell yeah. All right, we did it this time. Their shield, 55. They definitely succeeded. 20. That might even be a crit. Or a special, I should say, not a crit. Oh, it's got to be quite high for that. Okay, so a success versus a success. So a normal attack versus a normal parry. Attacker rolls normal damage. Defender's parrying weapon takes 1 HP damage. If damaged more than its current HP, any excess damage goes to the affected hit location. Okay, so I will roll lance damage. Fun. I feel like that's got to be a lot. 1d10 plus 1 plus 3d6. Oh boy. Okay. So that is 6, 7, 13. Now, I would like to think 13 is pretty high. What's the strength rating on my shield? 8. So yeah, I feel like that would damage this dude. I wonder if this BRT, if I should have been applying it throughout, or I'm gonna have to double check on that after this video ends. Looks like there's at least going to be a third one. Oh, and we get Molin's. So here's what I roll, which was 13. Using Molin's damage bonus because she is charging. Special damage is 2d10. Okay, yeah, no, we didn't, I don't think we're doing that. Oh wow, they have large shields, so they did reduce it. Changes based on the success level. Maybe this is referring to Molin's damage bonus, and it's just already done for me with the lance here. When she attacks someone on foot she rolls 1d10 plus 10 to determine hit location. Okay, I think that was done for us already. I could be wrong, but the HP on that shield is just very high. If you overwhelm their armor and deal damage, increase the BRT by +5. If you reduce, but either way, you're going to 78. So either way, we're in this back and forth loop, which will then bring us to 79, which will bring us here. I guess my only concern here is, should I be adding something for my bison? Damage Vasana deals changes based on the success level. Normal damage is 1d10 plus 1 plus 3d6, which is what I did. Using Molin's damage bonus because she is charging. I think that 3d6 is what is coming from Molin. And then all of these other, because I'm guessing the lance is just 1d10 plus 1. And the 3d6 is what's coming from Molin. And we just didn't roll high enough. So now we go here, the attacker strikes back with his stupid sword. 60, 93, misses again. 79, I think I am also missing with my medium shield. So I am also missing. And you know what too? Something I haven't been looking at is if these misses should be fumbles. I think some of them have been like pretty high. Damn, I don't remember what he rolled exactly. I don't think it was 96 or higher though. I think it was just 2 failures. So 2 failures, a failed attack versus a failed parry. They both miss. All right. And then that brings us to 79. So out of range from attacks. Now Mullen turns, circle the masses. Yeah, we've done this before. We hear the horn again, and then she's like, okay, I get it, Kalir, I will go to you. So we'll go to her at 91. From your vantage atop Mullen, you see Kalir leap down from her smoky gray mount, one of the finest beasts from her uncle's stables. Kalir draws her sword, throwing the scabbard to the ground, and charges into the battle. Make a scan roll. If you succeed, you may check the box next to the skill and go to 94. All right, so scan, and we did succeed on that lance roll, but I don't think I have. There is nothing for lance, huh? Yep, nothing for lance, because lance is over here. There's nothing for it. All right, let's see if we can succeed on this scan roll. 48. My scan is a 50. Very close. I'm assuming we can mark that now. If you succeed, you may check the box next to the skill and go to 94. Which is here. Good, because that's less reading. You strain your eyes and make out a small gap in the battle where Kalir is circling around a lunar commander. The two have their eyes locked on one another and no one else is interfering. It is an honorable duel. The horn sounds again and a member of Kalir's guard waves a tattered banner in the air calling for support. Go to 96. That is where we come in. You smash through the ranks of lunar defenders and gallop across the battlefield. Your passage kicks up great showers of water which mix with the arrows still raining down from above. You dodge around melees, leap over fallen horses, and finally crash through the last of the lunar ranks and find yourself in the press alongside Kalir. You swing down from Mullen and take up a defensive position nearby. The lunar and Sartorite infantry clash all around you, and Kalir herself is locked in a duel with the lunar rune lord, Horatio Hostilius, first cousin to Fazur Widereed, and said to command a group of 17 fanatic soldiers devoted to protecting Fazir's person and life. Things are tense, but you know better than to interrupt. Interfering in the duel would dishonor your leader and disgrace you as a cheat. Kalir is tense and focused, looking for an opportunity to strike. Without looking directly at you, she bellows, "Stand by. I have a use for you when I am finished with this cur." Then we need to figure out, will we obey Kalir and wait? Or are we going to forsake honor and ensure Kalir's safety? We will find out in the next video, because this has probably been pretty hefty. I don't know how long this is going to be exactly, because it is choose your own adventure, but it does look like the numbers go up to like close to 200. Yeah, they basically go to 200. So like 4 or 5 episodes of this, if they're going to be like 30 minutes a pop, but I'm doing 50-ish numbers a piece. All right, so if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know about it and like the video. And if you want to see more content like this, more future Runequests, go on this journey with me trying to explore this wonderful system and setting. Even though it can be a little rough, there's definitely some old school edges to it that's taking a little bit for me to get acquainted to. Subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one as we continue to explore the sacred art of gaming together.